Welcome to this week's edition of The Gun Doctor. A recent article titled, "The Fight Against Gun Control Has Some Surprising New Allies," is even more surprising as it came from a CNN reporter. While CNN is not known for its conservative slant on news, this article points out a surprising shift that should leave supporters of the Second Amendment hopeful. Here's what some of this article had to say about this dramatic shift. The firearms industry and its GOP allies have taken a more inclusive approach to fighting Democrat-led efforts to pass stricter gun laws this year. The article points out that the NRA, due to internal struggles and lawsuits, has taken a less active role on Capitol Hill, while other groups have stepped up. Groups like the National African American Gun Association and the DC Project, which the Gun Doctor recently highlighted. Republicans have invited leaders from these groups to speak on Capitol Hill to counter emotional testimony from the families of gun violence victims invited by Democrats. Firearms trade groups have also built inroads with leaders from the Pink Pistols, an LGBTQ gun group, and also the Asian American and Pacific Islander gun owners, which formed in March amid a COVID-19 related surge in anti-Asian hate crimes. The gun control debate has become increasingly partisan in recent years, with the vast majority of Democrats supporting added protections such as universal background checks and limits on the sale of high-capacity magazines, according to a Pew Research study. But the same Pew study revealed Democrat support for tougher gun laws has slipped 5% this year. Many studies show most of the members of these new groups tend to vote for Democrats. Women and Black Americans were also the driving forces behind a 40% surge in first-time gun buyers through the first 4 months of 2020, according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation. Mark Olivia, a spokesman for the Sports Foundation, said his organization believes many of these first-time gun buyers are Democrat voters. The trade group's leaders have been meeting with the minority-led gun groups to identify issues on which they can collaborate. Those common ground issues include opposing county pistol permit laws in states like North Carolina, where a recent University of North Carolina study found Black Wake County residents in and around the city of Raleigh were nearly 3 times less likely to have handgun license applications approved as their white counterparts. Opponents to the pistol permit say it's a callback to Jim Crow-era black codes that allowed limitations or outright barring Black Americans from owning firearms, often leaving them defenseless against groups like the Ku Klux Klan and other violent lynch mobs. State House lawmakers in North Carolina recently voted to end their pistol permit system, sending the measure to the state Senate for a decisive vote. The National African American Gun Association and the DC Project say their membership numbers have continued to swell this year after skyrocketing in 2020, thanks largely to pandemic-related fears of rising crime and additional social unrest. DC Project founder Diana Muller stresses that her group is nonpartisan, but she also said the Defund the Police movement has caused many liberal women to purchase their first firearm, join groups like hers, and sign up for shooting classes. A study shows that women represent 40% of the 8.4 million Americans who purchased a gun for the first time last year, and many live in metropolitan regions of the country that tend to vote Democrat. Well, that's good news for Second Amendment supporters. And the other good news is that Smokin' Gun Works is here to help all those new gun owners. Smokin' Gun Works, buy, sell, or trade, shoot, shop, or train. Smokin' Gun Works, 8785 North Baileyville Road, Forreston, Illinois. For The Gun Doctor, I'm Tim Vivens.